Bwana sifiwe. My name is Brian Ochieng Kibet Abonyo, and I'm the firstborn in the family. Before I actually read what I formally wrote, I'd just like to quickly say something. So I've been living overseas in Australia for about 15 years, and in December of 2018, I made the decision to come back home. What I didn't know was that Mom was sick, you know? So it really baffles me sometimes, and it really, the Lord works in mysterious ways, because I was just coming home because I'd missed my family. I was a bit sick of Sydney. I hated my job, so I thought, let me come back home. And I just thank God that really I've been able to spend this time with Mom the last sort of 7 months, and because I just don't know what I would have done with myself if all this was happening while I was in Australia. So I'm grateful to God for that. As you all heard, Mom's first attack with cancer was in 1991. Now, in 1991, I was 7 years old, and Ted was 4 years old. The second attack it came towards the end of this year. Even though we sit here and we are so hurt and we are so devastated, it's very important that we count our blessings and we thank God that we had a mother for all those years. If Mom had died when we were 7 and Ted was 4, who would have come to those prize-giving days? Who would have come to those recitals? Who would have come to those games, those rugby games that Ted plays? Who would have been Marco's second mother after Angelina passed away? It's really important that we count our blessings. Mom was a peacemaker. Everybody has said that. Everybody knows it. She was non-confrontational. She loved everybody. Even when people would abuse her family, her husband, her son, politically or otherwise, she would not retaliate. She would just go about her business, and that is one of her strongest strengths. And I really hope some of us can emulate the woman that she was. Okay, so she had a lot to do for Momet. She had so much more that she wanted to do. She had such a vision for this place. But you know, sometimes God has different plans for us, and perhaps God was happy enough with everything that she'd done, and it was time for her to go and sit up there with the angels and look down upon us. Now, throughout the illness, Dad and I spent a lot of time with her. I went with Mom to Dad and I to her checkups. We used to dispense her medication. We traveled with her to India and then to the UK and then back to India. But the reality of the matter is we also saw her really deteriorate. And to be honest, it got to a point where it was just a little bit too much to bear. When she was lying there, helpless, feeling like she's been stripped of all her dignity, for us, we kept praying, and everybody prayed. People prayed in Bomet, people prayed in Nairobi, people prayed overseas. We had prophets and prophetesses sent here to pray. And so I think in the end we kind of said, Lord, heal her. But if you can't heal her, let her rest. And I think for us, we've accepted and we are happy knowing that she's resting, because it was towards the end, it just became a little bit too much. Yeah, finally, I'll just quickly read the actual tribute I'd written before. Dear Mommy, thank you for being the exemplary mom that you were to us. Thank you for teaching us virtues of selflessness, patience, perseverance, humility, discipline, and diligence. You loved us all so much, and we knew it. Everything you did for us. You fought the illness bravely and endured so much more than one human should ever have to bear. But now you need to rest. You're in a better place. I know you're smiling and dancing with the angels, and you truly were an angel here on earth. I will miss you so much, and I will never forget you. Thank you for the legacy you've left behind. So many people love you and cherish you, Mama. Even though we are all devastated that you've left us, we will continue to count our blessings. We thank God for all the years we've had with you, and for all the good you've done for us in our lives. God be with you till we meet again. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'll just read the tribute. I think my brother spoke for the rest of us. Dear Mom, thank you so much for everything you've done for me in my life. Words can't describe the amount of love I feel for you and forever will feel. Watching you in your condition over the past few months broke my heart, knowing how strong you've been all through our lives. You've been a pillar of strength to so many people, and you've bravely battled this illness with all that you had. I apologize for all the instances I gave you a hard time, and I thank you for all the unconditional love and for never giving up on me. I promise to be strong and to make you proud. Rest with the angels, Mom. See you on the other side. Your son, Ted.
My tribute to Mom. Mama, you're so special to me. I thank God for you, and I thank God that you're my second mother. Thank you for loving me and caring for me and ensuring I lacked nothing. You are a brilliant mother and a leader who set high standards for all of us. You will be remembered for your humility and regard for others. Seeing you suffer for the last 2 months was a big blow to us, but you fought to the end. I will cherish the last conversation we had where you told me that you loved me and that you really miss all of us. I know you still wanted to do so much for the people of Bomet, but God wanted you to be with him in heaven, watching over all of us. Rest in peace, Mama.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Mina Laboso. I am a niece, but Dr. Joyce Laboso was like my mother. When I was 6 years old, I came to live with Mom and Dad. And before anything, I just want to say thank you, Dad. When I was 6 years old, he told me, Mom was in the UK, and he said, from now on, you'll call me Dad. And that's how I lived in the Abonyo home as a daughter from the time I was 6 years old up till my adulthood. I'll start with my tribute, and I'll, fill in as we go. So I had the unique privilege of calling a formidable woman like Dr. Joyce Laboso Mom. She was not only my mom, and I didn't see her from the family lens, but later I got to know her professionally as my boss, as she called me to work with her in the National Assembly as her personal assistant from 2013. And most recently as private secretary at the county government of Bomet. I watched her play the different roles in her life. As a wife, her voice was different out in the field, professionally, than it was at home. When the voice would become lower, Dad should be like, Dad, Daddy. When out in the field, you heard the authoritative nature of her voice. We watched a national leader in our home, and she was able to adapt to different people, and she overlooked weaknesses, and she made sure she mined and brought out the treasures within everybody. I had started my degree, and at some point I stopped, and she ensured, she really pushed me until I finished my degree. And I want to thank you for that. Not only me, but everyone around, even neighbors from Sotik. People who wanted to do different things, she pushed them until they reached, the best part, or rather, she brought out the best part of everybody. She also never focused on the weaknesses of everyone, and she always wanted to believe the best about anybody. If you told her something bad about someone, she would say, no, I don't believe you. And she would decide to believe that the person was good. She epitomized humility despite her intellectual achievements and accolades. She faced adversity with peaceful acceptance and always carried herself with grace and was always very calm. She exemplified the best values and were true to them always. She always said I intend to do the right thing. To me, it is this integrity and authenticity that powered her ever-rising star. And Mom, you inspired all of us. This person I am today is because of the values she instilled in me. And as a witness of your virtue and power, Mom, and goodness, we celebrate the blessing. You will not only have you been to me, but everybody you touched and all those you left behind. Thank you, Mom. Rest in Jesus.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm David Laboso, last born in the Laboso family. Let me read my tribute. She tries to wear her pain on her inside. She always has. It's the trademark of the older sibling. I think being an elder sister, it was healthy that she would sometimes pinch me. She constantly advised me to always move forward and never backwards. My sister, even though I never have told you how much I appreciated all you did to me, richly blessed is how I feel having a sister like you. Thank you.
It's with great sadness that we have lost you, Mom. I thank you for the support you have given me throughout my education and the positive attributes that you taught us. You showed us love and what it meant to be a family by standing together and being able to defy against all odds. You fought a good fight. You will forever remain in our hearts. I know you are in the kingdom of God, filled with peace. Your loving nephew, Dennis. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my children. The other tributes from Mary and Judy. I don't know where you're going to read it now. Please come. Maybe Judy can come and start. Then Mary, we can even bring you the microphone there. I think it's easier. You can take the microphone to Mary. Judy can come here.
I'll always love you as though you are still physically here with me. I will miss being with you, to talk to you about everything under the sun. There was nothing I could do as I watch you fight your illness, but I understand why God would want me beautiful angel by his side from now till forever. To me, you are the best sister I could ever ask for. Rest in peace, my sister.
Morning, Monas. Your Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta, Your Excellency Deputy President William Ruto, Right Honorable Raila Odinga. It's very unfortunate and sad that you are here barely 2 years ago to witness Joyce's inauguration, and now you're here again to say goodbye. President Kenyatta, I thank you for keeping your word. I was with her in Nairobi Hospital when you called her. Her phone was on silent mode, and I was playing music for her. And I must confess to you that Beatrice Elachi and Joyce was dancing, and I mean really getting down. With a drip on her hand. when they were not when they were not able to operate on her in England, William Ruto felt that we should still try something else, and that is when we ended up in India. Joyce was getting desperate at that point, and depression slipped in. I want to thank the ladies, Honorable Waiguru, Naisula, Shebesh, Mrs. Kones, Elachi, for visiting and leaving their comfort zones to come and stay with Joyce in the cold nights in Nairobi Hospital and sleep on seats. I thank you very much for keeping Joyce company. I thank Governor Chepkwony for coming to India. When I was getting so desperate, I didn't know what to do. Edwin and I were wondering what we should do to Joyce. And he came back he took the next plane and came to India to meet me. And I also want to thank most sincerely my brother-in-law, Edwin Abonyo, for being there for Joyce. Even when it was so difficult and we all got helpless in India, Edwin kept trying. Thank you, Edwin.